Hey guys, it's Marco here, Fully Loaded Cars, and welcome back to our channel. And today we're filming episode 4 of the TVR Retromod. In the last video we've done the floor pan and we've done the inner wings of the Sagaris front end onto the Cerbera middle section. I get confused. We've reinforced the roll cage to support the bonnet hinges, like a mini roll cage that goes through the front, bolts onto the chassis, and then there's a bracket for the bonnet hinges, and then it gets welded onto the original roll cage. We've also made some filler panels to start fiberglassing the engine bay. Now that the roll cage fitted, we can start fiberglassing the engine bay. I'm not going to do the engine bay completely, but even before we get to the engine bay, I want to strengthen the two halves because just the inside section ain't strong enough to support the weight of the shell. It's going to eventually break if we move it around. So this section here that we've made plates for to give us a rough shape of where we want the fiberglass to be. It's like a little mini mold. That's going to be for the bonnet hinges. So this has got to be fiberglass from the outside, and then we'll take the metal out and then we'll reinforce it from the inside. So that's one section here. That should tie the top to the scuttle panel, so that'll be all complete. And then also we've ground away the excess we had on the Sagaris front end, and as you can see there's a big dip in there. We could just fill that in and just smooth it off, but we don't want to do that because eventually the filler's so brittle, and with the movement it's going to break. So what I'm going to do is, it's going to take me a while, but adding layer by layer of fiberglass matting, I'm going to blend them two together, and then once that's at the right height, and then a complete sheet to go across the whole panel. We'll probably do that twice. It will be thicker, but because we're modifying the doors, the whole thing is just going to be about 2-3 mil wider. So it's just going to be a long process. But that being said, it will be structurally safe, and then we shouldn't have no cracks because this car is going to have an insane paint job, and we don't want any cracks. So we're going to have to do a poll or something on the color scheme for this car. But like Jamie wants it blue, even though he's an Arsenal supporter and he should be red, he wants it blue. But yeah, everyone's leaning to blue. I kind of like the orange. If it does go blue, I think all the suspension and roll cage will be orange. I'm going to go ahead and fiberglass this section and this section today. Yeah, that should take us most of the day. So that's where we are with the TVR. So if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and go and catch us on our Patreon channel. And yeah, enjoy the video, and we'll catch you in the next one. Many of times I've messed up, but that's all part of the process. When I first had my first garage, because I was a mechanic first and foremost, I had a panel beater and a painter, and then one day he never showed up. I spent all day looking for him because there was no mobile phones back then. So we just finished the first layer of fiberglass. If you'd like to see more, head over to our Patreon channel. The only thing that's going to stop us, Connor, is money. Yeah. That's the only thing. Like, all of this at the moment is just costing me time. I don't really like going to shows. I think they're a waste of time, to be honest. I stopped doing that a long time ago. It's just a lot of tire kickers and stuff. Yeah. It's just a question of getting it viral. Once it's viral, look at them, the Mercedes, the Retromod, the Pontiac. What's the point? There's one that's going around. Got a lot of, it's not that great. When you Marco's approval. No, it doesn't. If you put our other Retromod, if you put the one we sent to the bike side by side, it'd be just night and day. There's no interior in that car. It's just they just get an old body of a Mercedes and just lump it on a new chassis, which is good, but it's not as good as what we do. It's it's a different level. While Jamie's been hard at work in the prep room, I've been making mess out here when Ishmael comes back, we'll not be allowed to make mess out of it because Ishmael hates fiberglass dust. So I'm trying to do as much as I can before he comes back. Front end is now joined, as you know. Last week we fiberglassed the outer skins to join the two ends together. I'm doing the lower section. This was the first stage. I've got one more stage, and then the bottom half will be done. I did it in stages because I wanted the top to be secured before we moved on to the bottom, so it doesn't move and crack. And I've also started to fiberglass filler the joints because we're going to be moving the shell on and off the ramp, off the trolley onto the chassis to test fit the rear suspension and the engine. Kind of doing some of the prep work now with the filler. If there is any cracks, any movements, we're going to notice it straight away, and then we can go back in there and reinforce it, fix that issue before we paint it. Yeah, so that's pretty much where we are today. I'm going to finish the bottom bit, plenty of Vichy filler down the back of the neck and all of that, so yeah. Okay, so we left off with us joining the two halves together. There's no need for me to remove it at the moment, so I haven't. Once we take these plates off, I will have to reinforce it from the inside. So if I take it off, it's going to be very thin. So I don't want to take them off now until I'm ready to fiberglass the bulkhead around this section here, because then I'll make another mold for this. And we'll shape it all, and then we'll fiberglass it in one section. Like we had the TVR guy come in the other day, didn't we? He was a painter for TVRs, and we were next door, and he was like, I used to work at TVR, I used to be a painter. And I go, really? And I go, you seen our TVR? And he walked in, it's a Cerbra. And I go, look at the front. And he goes, it's a Sagaris. And I was like, oh man, yeah. So it was well impressive because it looks good. Yeah. And he's worked on hundreds of TVRs. He used to be one of their main painters, so I might get him up here to paint it for us. I know. That's what we're going to do today. Jamie's and Ishmael's been doing the outriggers on the chassis for this. They got to be replaced before we mount the body. Jamie can tell you a little bit about that. The body's basically ready to go onto the chassis as soon as they've replaced all of them outriggers. I need to cut up the boot floor for the new subframe, or else this won't fit.
Ta-da. Me and Marco made this piece, this long one. I'll grab this first. So, yeah, so as you can see, this is rotten and it has a hole in it. So that can't run, obviously. We didn't want that. So we just replaced it. Made a new one, made this bar here. This was all rotten here. Pretty much the whole, near enough, anything that's rotten is pretty much getting replaced. So that's all rotten. That's not finished yet, but you can see the difference between them as well. Right. It's a lot nicer now. And this is for the seats here. And as I was doing that side, I started drilling the holes, and Marco ran over to me and was like, wait. I noticed there's no holes on the other one. So I pretty much drilled holes on the other one, and there's no holes on that one. So we welded that together, innit? Yeah, that's kind of funny actually.
For some reason, I think it's the pedal position, but there's the two seats are not in the same position. Like one seat's further back than the other one. I think the passenger seat is further back. I think that's got to do with the pedal box and the heater box on the other side. It's just for positioning. That subframe will be able to be fitted straight from underneath. You'll drop in one go.
This is all new, isn't it?
That's all new, yeah. The brackets on the side.
Yeah.
This is why we got. This is why I got to modify the floor before we try test fitting the body, because
it is.
On the original car this was all flat like this. They didn't have these brackets here, so I'm going to have to modify the floor a little bit. I think that's for the time being. That's all we need to modify. That's all I want to modify is that, really, because I want to see the way we've measured it out. The wheelbase should be exactly the same as the original one, where we put the rear subframe. The front one will have to go forward. We'll have to, but this one should be in, so once we put the body on top, it should look dead center. But the shock absorbers it's going to have push rod suspension, so the shock absorbers will sit on top of here. And then hopefully I'm going to make it so we can see it from the inside of the car. All of these arms will make them fully adjustable, so we can set it up wherever we want it to. The floor pan on the shell, they fit inside these cavities. Is it cavities? Cavities, yeah. In dictionaries and shit, you know what I mean? Get a vocabulary up. So, yeah, they fit into these
Holes.
Into these holes, yeah. So if we put them plates too far up, the body won't sit flush. So. Just trying to work out this section here will have to be cut out. I'll take some measurements, but I think them bits there, 52. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Now, a little problem. On the original car, the back of the axle stopped here. There, so yeah, they bolt onto this tubes here. What we've done, we've moved the axle. This axle is wider and longer, so it's moved back. Now we've made these mounting brackets, which now sit inside the boot where the petrol tank fits. Because the petrol tank on the original car sits flush to the back panel. So we're gonna have basically we're gonna need a new petrol tank. We're not gonna be, I'm gonna have to get the tank modified to fit. So I'm gonna modify the boot to fit the axle, and then we're gonna have to modify the tank to fit the boot.
That's gonna go down.
To be honest, I'm probably gonna cut all the boot floor away. We're probably gonna just make a complete new boot floor. With the Sagaris rear end, because the exhaust it kind of goes inside the boot. It's like there's a recess for the exhaust. It's higher, the boot floor is higher. So this is too low. So because the original exhausts go through here, on the Sagaris they come out of the sides. Boot floor will have to go. But I think for now, just for us to get the shell onto the chassis so we can do the front suspension, I think I'm just going to cut away that so it's still structurally sound, because you've got these two, them two mounting points should correspond to these two. Okay, let's do some cutting. Come on. It's double skinned there. It's coming from the underneath, so I'm going to have to get underneath and cut that section away. I'll do it on the ramp. Hey guys, so unfortunately we have to cut the video here. We'll be making another video on the TVR very shortly, but unfortunately, unfortunately or fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, we've got a lot of work coming in the last week or so. So we've got a Merc SL body damage that we repaired, and that's finished, and we've got a video coming up that shortly. So we've got that. We've got 2 GTRs, Nissan R35 GTRs that we're also working on. One's the interior modification, and the other one is a front end respray. Videos coming at them as well. A month or so, we'll be back on this with another video. But for now, don't forget to like, subscribe, and yeah, share, and all of that good stuff. So thank you.